Our first speaker is Mamdouh Farouk Mohamed from Imhotep Museum, Saqqara. The title is Imhotep Museum of Focus. Please start.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to me to participate in this conference annual meeting of SEPEG. I think it's the first time for me, and now I am feeling that I am talking with my friends because we spent a nice times with each other. So today I will talk about Imhotep Museum. Imhotep Museum, I think, is not known for most of people on the world, but it is known for Egyptologists and specialists. Imhotep Museum is a site museum located at Saqqara. So we have a unique and rare, amazing collections, not big collections, but is well picked up from the seniorist of our designer in Ministry of Antiquities. So I think Imhotep was a legend person. He was deified later. He was an architect of the King Djoser. He peered 20 titles, who made a revolution to transform from the mud brick architecture to stone architecture. I think he was overseer of building the Djoser complex, the first one. And his father was Kanifer. He was architect also. He was, I think that he created a stone or the tomb, and he used the stone partly in Khasich for the King Khasich in Abydos. This is the facade of Imhotep Museum. The building consists of 6 halls. The opening date, April 20, 2006. And was a site and a small museum, and located in Saqqara sites. The Saqqara site, you know, this great necropolis that containing many various periods from the first dynasty until third dynasty or Roman or Greek periods. Imhotep Museum is located at Saqqara necropolis. It's complex 20 kilometers south of Giza Plateau. It's considered one of the thematic museums in Egypt that follow the museum sector. In 1997, the building began, and it's opened in April 2006 in the honor of Imhotep. It was he mentioned that he was a sage, physician, and astronomical and architect, and the first one to use stone widely in erecting Djoser pyramid complex. The museum includes 6 large halls and more than 219 unique masterpieces from Saqqara excavation. The mission of Imhotep Museum to collect, document, conserve, and display Saqqara heritage and to communicate with the local community. The value displaying the diverse heritage of different excavated from Saqqara historical period visions, impact the educational and the cultural rules with local communities. This is a map of Imhotep Museum entrance. We have 6 halls. The entrance halls we called here Djoser Hall, Expedition Hall or Mission Halls, Saqqara Styles Hall, Saqqara Tombs Hall, and Library of Jean-Philippe Louer. Jean-Philippe Louer was a French architect. He spent his life 75 years in Egypt. He wished to be buried in Egypt. So his dream to have a museum in Saqqara to collect the more masterpieces from Saqqara in museum. But unfortunately, he died 2001, and he didn't see the Imhotep Museum erections. This is my team. So Imhotep Museum, there is some problem in infrastructure. We closed this museum 2 years, and this is my team, okay? My deputy and all workers and security men, they are all helping me to renovate this museum. Why was renovation? Once a day, we were roaming in the museum. We found the cracks and the collapse in the floor. So we were very worried about what's happened why this land or ground were collapsed. So some people say the tombs, the pharaonic tombs under the Imhotep Museum. So we found, I think that's the right picture, this collapse on the ground and the cracks, and the mummy of the king Imri was in a showcase. We was very afraid, so we take a decision to transport this mummy to another hall. This is the first step we took when we feel worried about the cracks and the wall will fall in or will collapse on this mummy. And we started to break and crack and strike all the grounds to know what's the reason of this collapse. And suddenly, it's a surprise, we found a water under this ground. It was underground water. This causes this collapse. Challenges before innovation. We have a challenges before innovation. Infrastructure was in a bad condition, inappropriate light system display, less accessibility, non-activities, difficult to reach the museum, non-emergency to encounter. This is all the challenges before innovation. The first step we took, conservation or packing and storing the museum. So we collected all the objects. We have 300 objects. We collected all the objects and dismantled all the block stones inside the museum. See this picture, the restorer, backing and restoration conservations, the statue. And this is another one, the left photo, backing collection and prepared of Jean Philippe Louer Library, and the right picture packing the food. This was a very difficult mission for us. This is Fiance Wall. Fiance Wall is inside or underneath the Saqqara pyramids. So it's very long, okay, and a small and tiny Fiance, okay, parts. How could we then dismantle this wall? It took 5 days only. We dismantled all apart and to numbering and documented all the blocks to be stored and to restore it again in Imhotep Museum. There was hard work to do in this Fiance Wall of the King Djoser. This is the ground, is the water. This is the water underground. So it's surprising for us. So I submit the matter, the whole matter to the stakeholders to take decisions. What can we do? So they took decisions to renovate all the museum from infrastructure, and they will break everything, the ground, the walls, the ceiling, everything. And this is Imhotep Museum facade. We distracted everything about the open court. We dismantled it and to snatching all the bricks, okay? And these are works of renovation. The showcases was needed to be maintained and raise efficiency. So we renew all the showcases and the system display. The light was halogen. It's very bad and affected badly on the masterpieces. So we used LED light system, new light system to be used in the showcases. Treating and repairing the central air condition. Every visitor or audience, when it comes and inside the museum, they feel the hot because the weather in Saqqara is very hot. So I have not found any conditions inside. I feel hot, me and all the visitors. So the treating and repairing the central conditions. Security system, fire, break, alarms, 43 removable and immovable camera. We renovate all the security system inside the museum. And when the rain fall, We will suffering from the rain because it's collecting on the roofs on the building. So we decided to make a drainage tank, water, to absorb all the water draining, because Imhotep Museum is at the sloping edge of the hill. If you visit, you will find is we beside the hill, the mud brick hill. So each seasons, then when water raining or the water raining, that we suffering from this case. The enclosure wall or the stone walls, okay, is a border to the high hills. When the rain coming will destroy everything, and I think I remember 2021, the water rain get inside the visual sitting hall in museum before being a director of Imhotep Museum. So we decided to renew all the fence or the fence and the wall to be fit to make a display or temporary exhibitions and photo on this enclosure wall. Challenges after renovation: community engagement, temporary exhibition, transportation accessibility. If you have no car, you will get a difficult to reach to Imhotep Museum or to get a tour in Saqqara sites. What's new in Imhotep Museum? Treatment the underground water, new light system in display, creating space for visitors to get a break in open area, creating a new administrative and organizational structure, new drainage system, new electricity lines, new spaces of accessibility for disabilities, new security system, alarm of fire and break, 43 movable and immovable camera. That was new in Imhotep Museum concisely. After and before, this is architecture hall, includes some architecture elements, came from Saqqara or Djoser pyramids. Is different in light system, in the different in renewing the ground and ceiling, and we renew this hall. And there is some illustration and drawing on the walls to illustrate which part of these architecture elements do to back or refers to. This tomb of Saqqara hall, we have Sphinx, we have some collection of PP, the first and the second. We have some collection of Abia Vizier. And the missions hall, we have here a French hall, French missions, Louvre missions, Cheek missions, Egyptian university or Cairo University missions. This hall includes some collection excavated from the missions from the different countries. This Djoser hall is an entrance. We were empty, so we used this hall to be as a temporary exhibitions. So I will show you something. This is a temporary exhibitions from Papastinian sites in Saqqara. Ptah Sukr Uzier, some collection and some statue from women and men. And here we can, the bottom photo, surgical tools and cursed dolls. We have here the hieratics of excursion hieratics, that is a cursed doll. This is found in the Papastinian site. Mummified animals, cat, and verified monkey, and some collections of excavated from Papastinian site. This is a break or for rest. When you want to visit or audience to take a break, we make some like a shelter, okay? And I decorated with my colleagues the name of Imhotep and Djoser on the ceiling to be lit a shadow on the ground to win a break. This is the station of break or take a rest on break. In Imhotep Museum collection, we have a unique and rare masterpieces, juicer limestone blocks. They were peers the titles of Imhotep and the bronze statue of Imhotep. I think this statue here in the museum from Imhotep, but in Imhotep Museum, we have the bronze statue. And the famine stela. I think in the Louvre Museum, we have a fragments of these scenes of famine stela. It tells us the king Wanisa or Onasa, who when he knows that the Bedouin came from Asia in Sinai, they were starving, okay, and their ribs were appeared. So he ordered his leader to give them provision and food. And this is like a political propaganda for the king Onas. And we found this stela at the causeway of the king Onas. Imhotep, the vizier Imhotep, he was a vizier in the king Jitqara Sisi at the 5th dynasty. He was a wise man, and he's wrote an instruction and the maxim for women and the marriage and the daily life. Imhotep is a very famous one. This statue made of wood and painted gesso inside, and he put the arms to be bought to fix it, to be more free, like a counterpart statue in afterlife. In the bottom photo, we can see the books or food books in the shape of goose, like lunch books. When you get out to open this box, you will find booze or something. So this is a kind of boxes to preserve the food inside. And the king, Meri in Ra, just as Spirit think he found this mummy at 1881 inside the pyramid of Meri in Ra, and this mummy was out of the coffin, and was wrapped in a new or later linen. So maybe they were stolen, this is stolen, and they came back to the pyramid. It still needs study to know this mummy belongs to Meri in Ra or not. I think this old process of mummification we found in Egypt. And the cheese is a mummified and preserved cheese in jars. If you wanted to come to Imhotep Museum, you have to bring tomato and bread to have a breakfast. So the cheese is very delicious. So if you have everyone to come to Imhotep Museum, that he feeling or that he's saying that the cheese is fat or available to be eaten. So it became calcite and the powder. So after thousands of years, and dome, this kind of fruits in Egypt. So this cheese is a masterpiece in Imhotep Museum. And after we renovated the museum, before I was a head of or manager or director of Imhotep Museum, there is no activities inside. So I decided to launch some initiatives, training children in educational program, Imhotep School for teaching Egyptology. So I targeted the children and the students surrounding the village of Imhotep Museum, like Abu Sir, Dahshur, Saqqara, and every week, 50 students came to Imhotep Museum to give them a program about River Nile, pyramids building, about the impact of Imhotep and the Saqqara sites. So hieroglyphic, when I was learning them, hieroglyphic letters. This is the last picture about visual setting or the cinema setting. The second phase I think about to do or to implement in this hall to use hologram to manifest Djoser talking to the audience, to talk about the history of Saqqara sites. I want to use it, technology and light sound system in this visual setting. It's now displaying the movie, English movie, and the French movie and Arabic movie, Zay Hawass and Omar Sharif. And this movie produced 2006. Before I finish, I would like to show you some photo. This photo is 2006, and the Queen Sofia, the Queen of Spain, attended the inauguration of Imhotep Museum. And Turza Hawass invited her and some officials, person, VIP, to attend the inauguration of Imhotep Museum. And this is very crowded, or the my demand of Imhotep Museum after opening 2006. This is archive photos I keep in my museum. And this Jean-Philippe Louer Library, we have publications and political books, very interesting, okay, about Saqqara and Dashur Abu Sir, about publishing, about exhibition in this library. Okay, with powerful technology. Thank you. Sorry, we have a video, 1 minute, okay, for Imhotep Museum after renovation. Sorry.
Good morning. I think there is a problem in the sound. I cannot hear anything. You hear me? You hear me now?
Thank you, Mamdouh. We still have time for to question and answer and discussion. So, anybody who wants to ask a question? Yeah. Microphone is.
Okay, thank you, Director Mamdouh, for this very interesting, so sad, but giving hope, this information on the Imhotep Museum. In fact, I had the chance to see it, and in 2019, when I attended the Congress in Giza Museum. But I have a very special question, which I couldn't get an answer since 1988. And that year, maybe you won't remember, you might have been too young, there was an international congress in the Arab League building at the Tahrir Place. And during that congress, my dear colleague and friend, the late Dr. Eva Hoffmann from Heidelberg, who worked mainly in Thebes for many, many years with Professor Assmann and published books on Theban tombs. And we made a walk through Saqqara because we were both interested in Saqqara New Kingdom. And we made a walk around to get as close as possible through the desert to the monastery of St. Jeremias. And suddenly we realized that there was something looking out of the sand. And when we came closer, it was the upper part of the famous stela of red granite of the High Steward of Amenhotep III, Amenhotep Hui. And of course, we tried to get in touch with Dr. Hawass and other colleagues, but we were absolutely shocked and fascinated to find it lying in the sand, because it is published in a whole, and everybody thinks, and it was thought that it must be in Cairo Museum. But we saw it with our own eyes, and we made pictures, of course. And since then, I tried to find out where the stela is, and especially since Dr. Martin Raven, our colleague, has seen it still lying in the sand in 2003. And then when your museum opened, I got the idea, maybe it was brought meanwhile to the museum, but when I was there in 2019, nobody could answer my question. Or perhaps it should be in the magazines or being on restoration. So that's my question to you, just to know finally that it ends well and is safe.
Thank you for your questions. Most of Imhotep Museum objects were brought from Cairo Museum. So this object, I think, that were in magazine and it was displayed in Imhotep Museum. That's I remember, yeah. Sorry?
Sorry, I looked very thoroughly through the exhibition in 2019, but I couldn't find it.
2018?
19.
19. You found what? You don't find what?
The stela in the exhibition.
It
was not on display at that time.
Family stela?
This stela of Amenhotep Hui.
Amenhotep the three?
No.
Amun in Egypt? No, I don't remember. I don't remember where is this object. I went to Imhotep Museum at 2021. So I have an answer. Yeah. I have an answer for questions.
Maybe I can send you an email and pictures, and we can stay in touch.
Okay, keep in touch, and I will search for this your answer. Okay, I will give you back. So,
okay, thank you very much.
You. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions?
Where's mine?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Since I work in Saqqara, I'm very happy that the Imhotep Museum is back again. And behind your museum are the two official storages of the Taftish. So if a mission finds something and it's a really cool piece, it's been transferred the very same day to the storages. And so do you have the opportunity actually to take profit of that? That you showed there are some missions who represent objects, but do you work together with the Taftish that you can eventually get also these treasures which are stored behind you to be on display in your museum? Is this a serious possibility for you?
Yeah, thank you for this explanation and questions. Imhotep Museum not big, not small, because the scenario of display must be followed this way. And Dr. Mahmoud Mabrouk is the designer and the scenarist who was very eager and keen to not change any style of scenario display. So it's hardly to get 3 objects only or 5, or I proposed some objects according to the scenario display and the lines. So I always to keep all the scenario display and do distort any display. So I will try to get some objects from magazine there is some amazing and fabulous object stored in a magazine, and I saw it, but unfortunately, we have no place. We have no place to display these objects. It's very difficult for us. And I hopefully to come and when the next time we will get another display or new display, inshallah.
Okay. Okay. Last question, please. Depan-san.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you.
not a question about labels that I have to ask. It's a question about the very interesting project you have of temporary exhibitions.
Yeah.
And you showed us photos. I do understand that these temporary exhibitions are devoted to the recent discoveries made in Saqqara. Am I right?
Yeah, this recently discovered 2021 or 2020 from
And-
a Palestinian site.
And so I understand that you plan in the programmation of your museum to have on a regularly basis.
Yes, really. I actually to think it over about that, to renew all these temporary exhibitions in Djoser Hall, and I actually contacted with the head of missions in Saqqara, Dr. Marcel Parta. I told him, I was talking with him to get some objects to my museum to be displayed and temporary exhibitions. Yes. Thank you.
This
Thank
is very
Thank you.
promising.
Thank you for not. Okay.
Okay. Real last question.
No problem.
Real last question.
No problem.
Sorry for that, but I think it's very interesting for all of us because in the future, the official entrance to Saqqara will be from the desert, from the highway, and it's already finished, the construction, and it's next to Marinary Pyramid or behind Marinary Pyramid and Mastaba Pharaoh in this region.
Yeah.
So the buses will no longer arrive at Saqqara 100 meters
I
away
know.
from the Imhotep Museum, but they will come from the west. And are you a little bit afraid that they don't make it down the hill again, so that it will infect you in terms of visiting numbers, because then a lot of buses will just stay on the plateau and don't go down?
Yeah, there is a new road in Saqqara sites. It's called Awsati roads. It's connect between Saqqara and the Dahshur and the Abusir. It's a new road was implemented recently in Egypt. So when you come the next time, you will not counter any problems when you come from the main road and you can go out or went out to Abu Sir or Dahshur. It's Awsati road. It's a new road implemented by government recently.
I know about that road, and it's very fast. So, and it's the aim to bring the people very quickly from Giza, Grand Egyptian Museum, to Saqqara, and then easily and quickly back.
You talk about Bastabit Pharaoh?
So I talk about that if the entrance, so if the tourists in a couple of months will not arrive next to your museum at Saqqara, like it is now, all of us kind of enter Saqqara very close to your museum, but in very few weeks, months, whatever, it's they will not do this. They will come from the other side, and they are on the plateau. They will visit Djoser, the main highlights. And if you are afraid that the bus don't make it down to your museum, to go up again and then to the Western Highway.
Yeah.
So if you're a little bit afraid to lose attention, because now everybody arrives and immediately your museum is next to the entrance to Saqqara.
Yes, I see your attentions and your notice. That is now it's only road, go in and out, one way road, one way. It's to talk about one way road. So it's very dangerous. I know that some sites in Egypt needs to be to establish or make another route to be more safe. Yes. And you remember Serapeum site. When you have a bus, you will stop and the way distant from the Serabium, and walking, I think, 200 meters to get there, because is archaeological sites is prohibited or prevented to reach all the Serabium. I think that we need more site management in Saqqara to do that. Thank you.
Okay? Yeah, thank you so much. And if you have more question or comment, please continue in person during a lunch break or coffee break in the afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Farouk.
Thank you.